This is the Redmi Note 10 Pro, also called the Pro Max in India, with its 120Hz Super AMOLED display and Snapdragon 732G processor. And this is the Samsung Galaxy A52 with its 90Hz Super AMOLED display and Snapdragon 720G processor. Both of these devices are amazing in their own rights and have individual advantages over each other. Between the Galaxy A52 and the Redmi Note 10 Pro, which is the better buy for you? What up guys, Izzy here and welcome to the channel. So today we're looking at the Samsung Galaxy A52 versus the Redmi Note 10 Pro as promised when I reviewed them individually. I'm going to have links in the description to those individual reviews so you can check them out. And also in the description I will have my affiliate links, so in case you decide to buy any of these devices, you can support the channel by using those links. Like I said in the beginning, both of these devices are amazing and provide great user experience. Using them individually, I can say for certain each has its advantages that might make you pick one over the other. By the end of this video, I'm going to state the standard features I prefer from each of these devices, so you might want to stay tuned to the end. Also, do hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you don't miss when I post videos like this one. The configuration of these devices I'm using in this comparison is the 6GB 128GB combo. The Redmi Note 10 6GB variant retails for about $300, while the same configuration for the Samsung Galaxy A52 retails for about $330. There's the first advantage for you: the Redmi is the more affordable device. In the box of both devices, you get exactly the same accessories, no earphones. The Redmi Note 10 Pro also comes with a faster 33W charging brick. The Galaxy A52 supports up to 25W charging, but it comes with a 15W charger in the box. On the design, build quality and form factor of the Samsung Galaxy A52 and the Redmi Note 10 Pro, it may come down to personal preference. They both have Gorilla Glass 5 on their display. The A52 has plastic on the rear with a matte finish, which has a really nice feel, and you won't bother about smudges or breaking it since it is plastic and it is durable. The Redmi Note 10 Pro on the other hand has Gorilla Glass 5 on the rear with a frost finish. Also has a nice feel and seems the more premium, but you may need to worry about the glass breaking if you drop it. With its curved rear edges, the Redmi Note 10 is also the more convenient to hold. That is not to say the A52 is not convenient for handling. A curved rear edge just feels better on the hands. On size, the Samsung Galaxy A52 is more portable at 6.5 inches. The Redmi Note 10 Pro is the taller device at 6.67 inches. They both have the same ports and buttons, though positioned differently, but the Redmi Note 10 Pro has an Aero Blaster. Both have lovely sounding stereo speakers and are equally loud. The Redmi Note 10 Pro has its fingerprint scanner side mounted on the power button, while the Samsung Galaxy A52 has an optical fingerprint scanner on the display. Both are fast and accurate, but the Redmi Note 10 Pro is faster, being a physical scanner. Both the Samsung Galaxy A52 and Xiaomi's Redmi Note 10 Pro have an IP rating and will survive dust and splashes, but only the Samsung Galaxy A52 is certified to survive dips for a depth down to 1 meter for up to 30 minutes due to its IP67 rating. The Redmi Note 10 Pro will not survive that, as it has just an IP53 rating. Before going any further, let's take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning platform where you can join millions of others in learning new skills and exploring your creativity. You will find thousands of interesting classes to help you develop whatever skills you need, be it video editing, photography, graphics design, web development, and even freelancing. It is a platform suitable for any level of learner, whether you're a beginner or a pro. For those that have been asking me about freelancing on Upwork, I found this class by Christopher Dodd to be very good. It contains helpful tips on how to be successful on Upwork, from getting your profile approved to getting your first job. There's a lot of other classes to explore, as Skillshare is always launching new premium classes. As a platform focused on learning, you won't get any distractions like ads, and it is very affordable at $10 per month with a yearly subscription. But how about this? The first 1,000 of my viewers to use the link in the description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership, and that gives you unrestricted access to explore as much as you want. Now let's get back to the comparison. The display on both devices are similar and are made by Samsung, so you can expect them to be the best looking displays at their price points. I currently have the Redmi Note 10 Pro set to saturated and the A52 set to vivid. You may not be able to tell the difference in the display quality, but the Redmi Note 10 Pro has a brighter display with a peak brightness of 1200 nits and the Galaxy A52 has 800 nits of peak brightness. They both have a resolution of 1080 by 2400. The Redmi Note 10 Pro has a 120Hz refresh rate, which is higher than the 90Hz on the Samsung Galaxy A52. But if you operate both devices side by side, you might not notice a difference in the refresh rate. While the 120Hz on the Redmi is good and improves user experience, I'm mostly impressed by the 90Hz experience on the Samsung Galaxy A52. Samsung went all out with this one, and it might also be the optimization of One UI. Scrolling through Google Discover page is smoother on the A52. Speaking of One UI, both devices come with Android 11 and their respective custom skins, with the A52 on One UI 3.1 and the Redmi Note 10 Pro on MIUI 12. Both UIs are aesthetically pleasing, and whichever you choose you'll enjoy. But MIUI comes with a ton of bloatware applications, and you are also going to experience ads while installing an application or using the system file manager. One UI has minimal bloatware and no ads. Another advantage the Samsung Galaxy A52 has over the Redmi Note 10 Pro when it comes to software experience is the 3 years of guaranteed OS upgrades and an extra year of security updates. With the Redmi Note 10 Pro, I'm not sure how many OS updates will come, maybe 1 or at most 2. Samsung is also faster with updates, as the A51 from last year is already on Android 11 since February, even down to the Samsung Galaxy A21s. The Redmi Note 9 Pro is still on Android 10. The processor on the Redmi Note 10 Pro is the Snapdragon 732G, which is a slightly improved processor over the 720G on the A52. Benchmark scores on the Note 10 Pro is also higher, but the difference between these two processors are very minimal to the point that you can't even notice a performance difference. CPU-Z even sees the 720G on the A52 as 732G. I compared both of these devices in an app launch speed test, and there was barely any difference. Sometimes both launched at exactly the same time, other times one was faster by about 1/10 of a second. In summary, it was a tie. Both the Samsung Galaxy A52 and Redmi Note 10 Pro also equally do well at app retention. On gaming, they both have similar performance and graphics settings on each game I have tested. However, in my experience, the Samsung Galaxy A52 slightly had the edge. The Redmi Note 10 Pro starts to get noticeably hot barely 10 minutes into gaming. This might be an optimization issue and should hopefully be fixed with a software update. The battery life on both of these devices are impressive and should last you an entire day on a full charge, even on maximum refresh rates. The Redmi Note 10 Pro, however, has the bigger battery at 5020 mAh. The Samsung Galaxy A52 has a 4500 mAh battery. I'm sure everyone has been looking forward to the camera showdown in this comparison, so let's get right to it. The Galaxy A52 has the higher selfie camera at 32 megapixels, while the Note 10 Pro has a 16 megapixel selfie camera. They both have quad rear cameras. The Redmi Note 10 Pro has a larger 108 megapixel main camera against the 64 megapixel camera on the A52. On ultra-wide, the A52 has a larger 12 megapixel camera against the 8 megapixel ultra-wide on the Redmi. Both have 5 megapixel macro cameras. The Samsung Galaxy A52 also has a higher 5 megapixel depth sensor against the 2 megapixel sensor on the Redmi Note 10 Pro. Both phones can take really good pictures from their rear cameras, but I'll leave you to choose from the following photos which is better or which you prefer, and leave a comment. From the selfie cameras, the A52 looks to do a better job, especially when it comes to portrait mode. You can see the Redmi Note 10 Pro losing detail in the skies. Both have super night mode and can take better pictures at night. From the rear cameras, they can both record at 4K 30 FPS. The Samsung Galaxy A52 has optical image stabilization, while the Redmi Note 10 Pro does not. It relies on software stabilization. Okay, hello guys, it's a selfie camera and mic test of the Redmi Note 10 Pro and the Samsung Galaxy A52. The A52 has a 32 megapixel selfie camera, while the Redmi Note 10 Pro has just a 16 megapixel selfie camera. And the A52 also looks to have a wider field of view than the Redmi Note 10 Pro. And the A52 is also shooting at 4K 30 FPS from its selfie camera, while the Redmi Note 10 Pro can only do 1080p 30 from its selfie, but on the rear cameras both can do 4K 30 FPS. The A52 also has optical image stabilization. The Redmi Note 10 Pro does not. What do you think about the microphone quality, which has a better mic quality and also which has the better video quality? So, between the Redmi Note 10 Pro and the Samsung Galaxy A52, from the review so far, which is the best value for you? I would say it comes down to your preference and which brand you are most loyal to, as both of these devices are going to give you similar performances in most areas, but here are their individual advantages. The Redmi Note 10 Pro costs less. It also has the slightly faster processor, even if there is no noticeable difference. It has 120Hz refresh rate and also bigger battery. The Samsung Galaxy A52 on the other hand is IP67 water resistant. Its 90Hz refresh rate is also really good. In my opinion, it has the overall better camera performance. And it also has the software advantage with minimal bloatware, no ads, and 3 years of OS upgrades guaranteed. Now, the fact that the Redmi Note 10 Pro costs a little less sort of already makes it the wise option, especially when you consider its specs to price ratio. But while the Samsung Galaxy A52 costs a little more, I still believe it is definitely worth it, and it's not a device you are going to regret spending your money on. Which of these devices is your preference? Let me know in the comment section. And also, if this video was helpful, do leave a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one. Peace out.